Hey Astro friends, it's Melanie on the 21st of January 2026 with the Astro weather for the week going until the 27th of January. Clearly the biggest event this week will be Neptune's entry into Aries on the 26th of January. And the new moon we had on the cusp just at the very end of Capricorn on the 18th of January already opened the gate for this event and for many events to happen in the Aquarius season, which started on the 19th, so barely 2 days ago, but it will be quite the season, arguably the most important season zodiac-wise of the year. Why am I saying that? Because Neptune enters Aries, Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, goes direct on February 3rd, then Saturn enters Aries on the 13th of February, and then soon, just 2 days after the Aquarius season ends, they both unite. Saturn and Neptune will come together on the 20th of February. So plus, of course, also the end of Aquarius new moon on the 18th, sorry, on the 17th of February will bring the Chinese/Lunar New Year of the Fire Horse. So this Aquarius season will be quite the kicker. So let's look at the most imminent event, Neptune entering Aries. The big event, as I said, of this week, even of this Astro week, since it will happen next Monday, the 26th. So I have a chart for that. Neptune technically enters Aries on the 26th at 9:38 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And the chart looks like this. So here we go. You see Saturn and Neptune both very cuspy here. Saturn barely back in Pisces because it will enter Aries, as I said, on the 13th of February. Neptune at 00, didn't mark it, but here it is, 00 Aries. This is huge, and you see also how much Aquarius happens here, right? How much energy is now in Aquarius, wrapping around Pluto in early Aquarius. Mars will also enter Aquarius this week on the 23rd in 2 days. Another really important event, since it will be the last one to join this Aquarian crew. Nothing then left in Capricorn, and a big shift which started early this week when first the Sun and then Mercury entered Aquarius, and Venus already in there, Mars to follow on the 27th. So let's start with that actually, because that is, they both play together clearly, right? Such a concentration. You also see there's nothing going on except Jupiter, Lilith, yes, Jupiter here, not even aspected in mid-Cancer, but the biggest concentration is from late Taurus here, right, with Uranus, the ruler of Aquarius, to early Aquarius. So this is a very Uranian Aquarian constellation with the Aries shift in the middle, right? Pretty much in the center of all this. It's called a bowl shape in astrology. This is like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 signs only occupied. Jupiter is the sort of outlier here, right? But we have all the planets are lined up right here in this bowl, and it's like even just less than a bowl, right? And this is a very strong concentration. This is all the energy moves in this direction, pulls us especially in this early Aquarius dimension that I'm going to talk now, and then also into early Aries. So the Aquarius dynamic is all about, especially, wrapping around Pluto, as I said, right? Pluto started, entered Aquarius in November 2024 and will be there until 2043, 44. So it's a whole new era, and it's a huge marker of our entry into a new age, into a new era, into the Aquarius age. Of course, it brings a lot of technological renewal, innovation, and systems change, right? Aquarius especially is about systems on all levels and society. So system changes are in the making, are really happening, and from the Aries side, things go really fast. And there's a lot of precedents, a lot of really unheard of situations, right? This is a completely new dynamic now, right? Says Aries. So what are we going to do about this, right? So it's also an energy of something new emerges, but you could also say it presents as an emergency. And it has to do, as I said, with the AI situation, because AI is really exponentially learning and infusing and penetrating all systems. And what is humanity doing about this, right? So AI is an agent now. It's not just a tool, not just a at our disposal. It has a life of its own, and that is also very apropos Pluto, right? So how can we work with that? Yesterday I saw this interview with one of the AI geeks. I don't want to go directly to that interview and who that was and stuff, but the whole theme of AI apparently interacting with humanity as the watchers. That is interesting because it's also, Aquarius is about observing. It's just like a scientist observing an experiment. It's also the audience, or the ones who watch the show, basically, right? Versus Leo is a performer. Aquarius is a watcher. So is humanity now sort of becoming more a watcher, a observer, rather than an agent? That's the question. And what can be done about it? So with Pluto Mars, Mars will enter Aquarius, as I said, on the 23rd, and meet Pluto on the 27th. That will be the last planet to meet Pluto. And by then, also Neptune the day before will have entered Aries. This is such a push for technology and system changes. And on the other hand, Mars in Aquarius also brings up our human solidarity and light warriors in action, I call it in my article that I'm just composing at this point too. So freedom, it's about freedom. It's about freedom for all and not a new technocratic enslavement, right? So we don't want that. What can be done? How can we retain our agency is also a question for Mars, right? And or will it be absorbed by the system Pluto, right? So I'm just putting this out right now. I don't have solutions or predictions per se, because it is that's not how it goes, and that's not what I want to do. I want to make you think more, and thinking really also clearly is an important feature this week, with Mercury reaching the Sun in early Aquarius today. When was that? It was already at 7:49 a.m. Mercury is now slightly ahead of the Sun, and this is called the superior conjunction. There's also an inferior conjunction of Saturn Neptune. That is during Mercury retrograde. This one is when Mercury moves the fastest in its cycle, right? Mercury also exalted in Aquarius, which it's where it's the strongest, right? This is also an excellent time for systemic thinking, for collaboration, for finding solutions, for brainstorming, for cooperation on all levels. And yeah, so Mercury, the Sun, are in a way our go-to at this point to see things in a fresh light and to understand systems better, right? And then, as I said with Mars, right? Also, it's about light warriors. It's not the light warriors don't fight the darkness, don't fight the forces that absorb and destroy and all that. The light warrior is shining the light, and it's not fighting the darkness, right? And allowing the darkness to run its course, to absorb itself, which it usually does. And if there's lots of warriors fighting against it, giving it all this energy, this fuel, it's like gas into the fire, right? So this is like more fuel, more energy to that what we resist and what we fear. So we don't want to do that. We want to generate light energy. We want to just like plants also. Taurus, right, rules the plant world, and vegetation growing towards the light. And this is despite this Uranus in Taurus now stationary, that disruptor, and on one level, our stability, the economy, all of that has been very disrupted with Uranus in Taurus since 2018, 2019. And but at the same time, all these constellations, they have different expressions, right? As that disruption, but at the same time, also an awakening, also a embodying freedom, and not letting technology like biodigital convergence um, disrupt and mess with our biology, right? And so that's a big one. Technology, again, ruled by Uranus, is coming into the physical world, and at the same time, maybe there's also another side to it. We can also learn a lot. I'm sometimes, quite often when something isn't quite I need a second opinion, right, on something, be it especially technology lately, right? Then I would actually ask questions, and in my search engine, and do get be guided to more sources, and I learn a lot that way, right? So this is also very positive, and just we don't want to give all that power and agency away to it. Then we have, as I said, Neptune enters Aries, right? So this is huge. Neptune and Saturn entering Aries and coming together on February 20th at 0:45 Aries is likely or arguably, I would say yes, it is the most important event of the year. Saturn and Neptune have both been in Aries for a trial run last year. Neptune end of March till October 22nd, and Saturn from end of May until September 1st. So we had already a spring summer sense of what's coming, and the Aries energy is by nature very renewing. It's like a spring energy. It's like a whole new dynamic. It's a wave of renewal, I call it, with Neptune in Aries. And with Saturn in Aries, it makes it more real. It's more tangible. It's more, it's the chapter of Saturn in Pisces is closing. It's a threshold. We really see it in real life. And the chapter of Saturn in Aries is starting. And with that closure of Pisces comes, in my sense, also a whole closure of the Pisces age. So that era of the last 2,100 years is even coming to an end. And Pisces has been very much about devotion, about spirituality, about religion, about interdependency, codependency, about, so it's been also a very much looking at the divine, right? So experiencing the divine in so many ways, and it's like a big transcendence ruled by Neptune, right? So Pisces is ruled by Neptune, but Neptune comes out of Pisces. So now, in this new era, what can happen is like the power and even the divinity is being given to technology with Aquarius, right? We already see that. And technology is already, that's what I heard yesterday in this talk as well, that religions have been based on traditions um, uh, often passed on through books and through information and through holy books. But AI is, like, when it comes to books, when it comes to information, language, communication, AI is already superior, and AI is analyzing those books, and AI is now rewriting, right? So lots of history that way, because it aggregates, it compares and analyzes and corrects in its own you know, its own programming, um, and keeps learning, right, what it finds. So there is quite a shift. And the question is, how do we respond to that, and how do we renew ourselves without being mm, without being sort of subject to that system and being swept away and being in a landing. It's like just like Dorothy. It's not Kansas anymore, right? It's swept up in this tornado, and so um, at the same time we have Neptune. Sorry, we have the North Node now as the last one. Once Saturn leaves Pisces, the North Node is the last one in Pisces, and the North Node will be still in Pisces until August 22nd, I believe, going backwards, and also influencing the Pisces and Virgo season, because the South Node is in Virgo and the North Node in Pisces. So once we have Virgo season and Pisces season, we have eclipses, and that brings that one out. So the North Node now in Pisces is actually inviting us to cultivate these very beneficial Piscean vibes and gifts. So what would that be? Really also being open, being adaptable, being open to the divine. So allowing, asking for help, being also in connection with a mystery, with a grand mystery, and seeing, because that is ultimately much higher than the Aquarian world, which is technology, but Pisces is energy. It's like the big web of life, and our soul level, and all of that AI and technology could never take from us, or even simulate basically, because that's a simulation, right? And so being in our divine cosmic self, and seeing all of this also as an illusion and as a dream, as a um, Maya, as I would say, right? These things, these worlds, they come and go, and we don't have to be absorbed by it. We can witness, and we can allow things to wash through us, rather than being all, obsessed with it from a Pluto level, or panicky from an Aries level, right? So there's whole different spectrum of responses, right? And especially also since the South Node is in Virgo, as I said, and that can bring up a lot of the Virgo pitfalls. In other words, we're seeing problems over problems, and we can't keep up with fixing all these, right? That would be Virgo, and worries, right, and all this, and concerns. So the contrast to that would be blessings, would be also uh, a that's what I said to a Pisces friend today on a call. He said, "Oh, he's got this thing going on now with his health issue, and see whether he can get help." But he seemed very worried, understandably. And I said, "Well, help is already on its way in the energy field. It's coming to you. I see it, and I wish you that. And it's just a matter of manifesting." And so to actually go into that energy, right, rather than making ourselves small and being all about the worries, right? So, but sometimes we need people in our lives. We need reminders that the blessings are really so effective, right? And so let's go a bit to the moon this week, and then also, yeah, I want to say also that early Aquarius were the sun, but also Mars. The sun is until the 30th of January, but also Mars is, Pluto is. Pluto is much longer, for about 10 years or so, and Venus is just about to leave. Mercury is, now all of that is happening primarily in the first 10 degrees of Aquarius, as you see, right? And that has a Libra undertone. So the first 10 degrees of each sign have an undertone of the cardinal sign of that element. So it is Libra for Aquarius, and for Gemini, and for Libra. And so the Libra Aquarius combination is also a lot about collaboration and coordination, negotiation, and it's also about fairness and justice, social justice, right? All of that. And that is very much now in the energy field. Then we have the moon, right? So the moon is now in Pisces. Today is the 21st. The moon is in Pisces since yesterday evening, 10:50 p.m. Pacific, and will be in Pisces until Friday, the 23rd, in the late night at 1:17 a.m. Pacific again. Sorry, I'm going into Mars here. Okay, so the moon will be in Pisces until early morning, 5:26 a.m. Pacific. So we have a few Pisces waxing moon days. So this is all an energy of growth. Growth through connection is sort of a simple slogan, and growing connections, and showing our love, and showing our connectedness, and being in an energy field of flow, adaptability, ease, right? So all of that is definitely on. I feel it. And then the moon goes into Aries. So the moon, when the moon goes into, when the moon will be end of Pisces, by the way, on the 22nd, 23rd night of 22nd to 23rd, or rather in the early morning of the 23rd, the moon will meet then also Saturn, end of Pisces, and Neptune at the very end of Pisces, because it goes into Aries on the 26th, right? Just 3 days later. So that would be also quite an accentuated marker, because then it's also more about really feeling into this letting go and renewal, and opening up, right? Opening up to the new is really the transition from Pisces to Aries. It's just like that spring energy, the spring equinox energy, when nature does it, right? Nature opens up to the new season. And yeah, and then the moon enters Aries in the morning, shortly after that Neptune contact, of course. She enters Aries in the early morning of the 23rd. Then we have the 22nd, 24th is also Aries moon day until, yeah, late early morning of the 25th. So Aries moon energy is very dynamic, especially as a waxing moon, right? So this will be yet another big shift that we feel. It's really all about presence. It's about the now rather than all the other things. Aries can be actually quite simple, quite straightforward, and saying, okay, let's face what's going on here, right? And what are we doing? It's actually almost not even reflective. It's just really responding, sometimes reacting, right, to what's present. And also feeling very alive, enlivened, and all this through maybe whatever we're into. Would be a great time to try out something new also, right? And a new approach to things is also Aries. Then the moon enters Taurus, as I said, on Sunday the 25th, which is Robbie Burns Day, and will be in Taurus all day 25th, all day 26th, and on the 27th she will enter Gemini. So the Taurus moon energy is typically grounding and very, solid and stable energy. Emotionally also, the moon is exalted in Taurus. However, we'll have squares for one thing, right? So we have squares from Aquarius, from Taurus moon to Aquarius, to all this Aquarius energy. So this is also like, this is actually then, let me just look here. Yeah, it's a waxing square, of course. So it is, how can we actually find stability in that change, in that renewal, which is now quite, obvious and inevitable? So how can we actually settle into that and find still stability, but also contrast and needing to go, for example, really to nature, doing something for our physical and our senses, physical health and wellness and joy, and for our senses, cooking, eating, all the beautiful, pleasant things, which is what the Taurus moon brings, all the senses. Like it's also like music. It can be also sound and touch and all the five senses in this case, right? Sixth sense might be more Urania, and so yeah, so a bit of contrast, and it can be also a good way of expressing that through actually meeting with friends and sharing food, for example, right? Then we have, as I said, on the 26th, big day, right? This week, Neptune entering Aries in the morning while the moon is in Taurus and approaches Uranus. Okay, that is also a not so calm and pleasant Taurian experience. It's more like, hey, let's just shift. Let's just do something completely different. Experimentation with new, could be new technology, for example, again, right? Could be new systems. Could be new approaches to friends you haven't seen in a while, and see them in a fresh light. All of that. And then the moon will enter Gemini on the 27th, last day of this Astro week. And so that is also now over the voice point, right? So it's like really communication. We need to talk, we need to share, and really learn from each other. It's all a lot about learning with Gemini. And on that day, the 27th, is when Mars then passes Pluto. Mars being the last planet to pass Pluto. And yeah, so that combination can be again intense, and it can also bring out the warriors in us, the light warriors, right? As I said, as we're facing darkness, as we're facing power dynamics that we're not pushing against, we're not putting up with it either. What is a more intelligent and more systemic approach to all this? It's about collaboration again. It's about contribution, right? So what do we contribute with passion? That is also Mars in Aquarius, right? And that's it for this Astro Week. It's quite the intense one, lots of shifts. I show you the Neptune in Aquarius dynamic, Neptune into Aries chart again, and where you can also see that so much is going on in Aquarius and so on. Right? So you can find articles for these important shifts, like for Mars going into Aquarius, which is what I'm just writing, and for Neptune into Aries on my blog, which I link below. And you can always connect with my social media, in other words, Facebook and Instagram, and also subscribe to my newsletter, which comes out every new moon and full moon and covers the whole 2-week period. So yeah, so access for all of that is linked below. And yes, please share this video and like it if you do. It all helps to contribute, to distribute, to show it to more people. And wishing you a beautiful week with sunny greetings here from the Canadian West Coast. Bye.